Hello, guys. Welcome back to Dirty Martini. I hope you're having an amazing day. I, as per usual, am having floor time while recording this. I just came back from work, and soon I need to start getting ready for a birthday party, and I desperately need to shower and take a nap before I leave, so if it hasn't already become clear, yes, I will be late to the party. But here's the thing. I'm always late for gatherings, be it hangouts or parties or whatever. I am always late. And if we've been friends for a long time and you still expect me to show up on time, that's on you, baby. That's fully on you. I promise you, I'm not doing it because I'm not respecting the other person's time. It just simply happens. I may start getting ready on time. I may leave on time, and still I'm somehow late. But honestly, I didn't used to be like this. Actually, I used to be too early everywhere. And my friends were the ones who used to always be so late. So I just sit there and wait for them for more than 20 to 30 minutes. And I guess at a certain point I got tired of waiting and I just stopped being early. I think it's really funny how the tables have turned because now my friends are the always early or on time ones. And I'm always late. Just a few weeks ago, I was going to hang out with this friend who I hadn't seen in more than a year and a half. And I just always remembered her as the one who is at least 30 minutes late. So I just didn't bother to leave on time. I left when she, a year and a half ago, would have left. Well, I guess people change because Girly was waiting for me. And yeah. Anyways, I'm blabbering too much and I need to get to the point because my time is running out. Again, I need to get ready, so I don't want to be tastelessly late for this party, especially because we all bought the birthday boy a joint gift, so yeah. What I wanted to talk with you about today is actually how my week has gone. This week has been getting on my nerves. Every single day, something shitty happens, and I just need to vent right now because I'm genuinely pissed. Every single day, I have woken up with a worst case scenario in my head. Okay, maybe this is manifestation, maybe this is attracting that energy, but yeah, I've woken up with a worst case scenario in my head, which has awoken the mentality of things cannot go worse than they already are. And yet, they somehow miraculously do. The universe is just testing me, and I didn't study, so I'm failing miserably at this test, and I might have to retake the class. I don't know what's in the air, honestly. You know what I need? I need a blue or purple-haired they/them with a septum piercing who works as a barista to tell me what the fuck is up with the stars and the planets for everything to go this badly. I'm being fully serious, by the way. I'm not mocking those people. I love them. They usually seem to have their shit together. They seem to be so in tune spiritually, so in tune with everything around them. And I just need them to guide me. Actually, I need them to drag me through life. Is Mercury in the microwave again? Did Saturn lose one of its rings? Or is it the Earth that just hates me and wants me to get deported? Throughout the week, I created a list of things that happened, and I want to share that list with you. Could me maybe writing them down have invited this energy into my life? Did I manifest this stupidity? Most likely. Most likely. But why would it stress me out so much? At least it's good for content. So, a win is a win, I guess. Let's just dive into it. Here is what happened this week. First of all, do you remember how I told you I'm on a social media break last week? How I plan on not using Instagram and how I wanted to get rid of TikTok as well? Well, yeah, that is going nowhere near according to plan. I feel like me trying to go cold turkey on this actually made me crave it even more. It's like knowing you cannot have something makes you obsess over it and focus only on it. So I've spent an embarrassingly long time on social media this week, but at least I'm having fun with it. Maybe now is the time to tell you that I've been actually quite active on TikTok and you should check out my content. My profile is at Dirty Martini Pod, so enjoy. Anyways, I actually don't want to talk about how I'm miserably failing the only task I set to myself. I want to talk about what happened when I said I don't want to use Instagram. So, as every addict, I began looking for a substitute to my poison. And I had a friend over, and for whatever reason, we started talking about LinkedIn. I give you full permission to laugh at me. I am even making fun of myself, so feel free to do so. Like, what I'm about to say is literally ridiculous. Craving social media so much that you turn to LinkedIn? Seriously? Yeah, so what actually happened is that my friend was explaining to me how to use the platform because I did have a profile, but I was never too invested in LinkedIn, so I wasn't really familiar. So we spent some time looking through celebrities' LinkedIns, as one does. And I'm sorry, but I think it's absolutely hilarious that Ryan Reynolds and Bill Gates have LinkedIn profiles that they update religiously. That is just peak comedy. As if Bill Gates, literally one of the richest people on the planet, would ever need a LinkedIn profile to look for a job. Is that a sign that Microsoft isn't doing as well as we all thought? I'm sorry, but I cannot help but giggle when I think about Bill Gates creating a LinkedIn profile and using it as intended. But that is not the point of my story. So, after going through Ryan Reynolds' account, my friend and I just started gossiping about people we know and looking through their profiles, as one does. And I decide to show him one of his acquaintances or friends or whatever their relationship is, who I had a crush on. Now the thing is, my friend, that little bitch, didn't tell me that LinkedIn shows you when someone viewed your profile and shows you who viewed your profile. He waited intentionally to tell me only after the gossip session, and particularly after I showed him the guy I used to crush on. I don't think I've ever closed my laptop faster. I wanted to disappear from the face of the earth. I wanted to block the guy because I didn't want him to know I repeat, I used to have a crush on him. But the damage was already done. So now I don't have a profile picture on my account. Hopefully, he doesn't remember who I am. And now I just pray that I never see him. And to my friend, who was apparently planning my demise from the very beginning, count your days. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Just be careful when I give you something to eat or drink. You never know. Just saying. No, I'm kidding. I won't poison you. I won't seek revenge. Or will I? Wait and see, I guess. Wait and see. So yeah, this situation really set the tone for the rest of the week, and things just didn't stop. The next thing on my list has to do with the fact that tomorrow is Easter. Now, for the non-Orthodox of you, this may come as a surprise since you guys' Easter was like, what, a month ago or even more? Which I think was criminally early, but okay. Yeah, Orthodox Easter is tomorrow. And I'm very excited. Well, I'm not like super religious, but I'm very excited because, well, again, most of my plans for the day failed, and half of the people I invited to celebrate with won't be joining, but that is just not the point. I'm having friends over, and that's why I'm excited. And one of them has never celebrated Orthodox Easter with Eastern European food, so, the pressure is up there. Now, I think that is an inseparable part of the Easter table in Bulgaria is the kuzunak. Like, if you forget to dye your eggs, it wouldn't be such a big problem as not having kuzunak. How do I explain what kuzunak is? Wait, let me Google it. So, according to Google, kuzunak is and I quote, a very soft braided brioche, usually made with eggs, sugar, flour, butter, and milk. End of quote. In my words, kuzunak is just heaven in a dough form. Now, kuzunak is absolutely delicious, but is also quite difficult to make. The line between making the best kuzunak known to humanity and serving an abomination is very, very fine. So because I want when my friend loses her kuzunak virginity to be the most magical, world-shattering, life-changing, soul-nourishing experience, I decided that I should do a test run. I decided that I should make a rehearsal kuzunak to see how I perform and if I'm able to serve it, metaphorically and literally, on Sunday, so tomorrow. Now, does that indicate anxiety? Most likely. Or absolutely yes. However, in this case, that anxiety was very much justified. I started making the dough in the evening and let it rest overnight. Altogether, the preparation took me more than 12 hours to make, and I put my blood, sweat, and tears into it. Okay, no, I didn't, literally, because I hate having a dirty kitchen. You know what? Consider this, me saying that I hate having a dirty kitchen, an Easter egg for what is later to come in the episode. Wait, I think it's really funny that I'm mentioning Easter eggs as a hint while telling an Easter story. Anyways, back to the kuzunak. So I really poured my heart into it. I was so excited for everything. And then I put it in the oven. And then I completely forgot I put it in the oven. I went to take a shower. I watched an episode of Sex and the City. And it was only when the house started smelling like coal that I remembered. Mm-hmm. I ran to the kitchen and found my kuzunak to be a solidified mass of ash. It was rock hard and like an actual coal. If you want to see what I mean, go to my TikTok. I promise you, you won't be disappointed because I already was. There's no more disappointment left for grabs. Like, it was so bad, it was actually hilarious. I tried to get it out of the tray, and it was so stuck in there, I decided to use a knife, and the knife bended. So now, not only can I not make a kuzunak, but I also have a bended knife. I guess the original question was if I can make a kuzunak, and I think the answer is yes. I guess I never just specified in front of myself that the kuzunak should be edible. So tomorrow, on Easter, after the birthday party, I'm waking up early to try and make a new one because my friends are coming over for dinner, and that should give me enough time to fuck up again and fix it if it's even fixable at this point. Honestly, if tomorrow my kuzunak doesn't work out, I will just call in sick from my dinner that I'm hosting at my place, excuse myself, and just not go. I promise you, I'm only deranged about it because I care. I want us all to have good kuzunak. And that's on that. So, do you guys remember how a few minutes ago I mentioned that I love my kitchen clean? Yeah, funny I should say this. The other day, well, technically it was midnight. So the other night, I got to make pasta for dinner. Yes, I eat late. What about it? I go my entire day thinking about dinner. I wake up thinking about dinner. I have breakfast thinking about dinner. And then when dinner time comes, I'm always too lazy to cook, but I know I should eat because that's the thing that's been keeping me going the entire day. So it usually takes me a few hours to get myself into the cooking headspace. And by the time I drag myself to the kitchen, it's already almost breakfast time. Sometimes I really hate the fact that I'm an ingredient household type of person. If I was a snack household, life would be so much different. But having to actually cook to eat is something nobody warned me about adulthood. Anyways, you get the point. It's late and I'm now starting to cook pasta. Actually, now that I think about it, it was literally the day of the kuzunak mishaps, so I had already had my daily dose of defeat. You know, they say God sends his toughest lessons to his strongest soldiers. I think the mail was delivered to the wrong address. I don't want to be a strong soldier. I don't want to be a soldier even. Like, camouflage doesn't look good on me. I'm just a girl. So, anyways, as I reach for my pasta packet or whatever it's called, like, whatever, the entire thing, the entire thing spills everywhere. So, guess who didn't make pasta and actually was forced to eat the cold kuzunak because they had no food? Now, if you think this is where the story ends, think again. I start cleaning the pasta from everywhere, and then I remember I had just bought this pasta. It was unopened, and when I looked at the packaging, it was very much cut through with a knife, but done very unevenly. So I thought that when I put the packaging in my bag, my key maybe slid it open without me noticing. So I reached for my other packet of pasta because I bought two because they were on a deal. And then I looked at it, I started inspecting it, and I saw something. And then it dawned on me. My pasta really was new. The reason it went everywhere, the reason the packaging was ripped open, was not because of my key. It was because it had been nibbled on by a mouse. When I tell you the tears just start rolling, please believe me. So naturally, I call my mom and I start complaining. And she tells me, store your stuff in your suitcase. First of all, can you imagine me taking my big ass suitcase and using it as a shelf food storage? Oh, I need some black pepper. Let me just run and open my suitcase. Like, that wasn't even something I considered doing. So, mom. Anyways, however, I do go to my suitcase just to, check on it. Like, it's been with me through a lot of stuff, so I just check on it sometimes. And as I already mentioned, it is a big suitcase. So there's no space for it in my room, and I'm keeping it on the top of the shelf I have in my balcony. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a heartache. No, excuse me. Tell me why pigeons have started nesting in my suitcase. I wanted to get rid of them, but they genuinely were so aggressive. I felt like they might attack me. So I put a cardboard box to stop their access to my suitcase. And those bitches came back from their flight to somewhere and landed on my window, threatening to enter my room. And they just stared at me with vengeance in their eyes. All that to say that I'm terrified of going out on my balcony now, because I don't know if I'd come back. So, yeah, about the mice. I told my housemates, and they tell me that this has been a problem for some time, but I was in the UK, and that's why I didn't know that they were back. What I mean by they were back is that we had mice last year, but they just disappeared after some time. Oh God, one time I saw a mouse in the kitchen, and it's cute, as an animal, but I don't know which one of us was more afraid of the other. Let's just say that I still haven't recovered. I don't know about the mouse. Maybe it went to therapy. So maybe that's why it was gone for some time. And now, after healing all its childhood traumas, it's back. So I text my landlords and ask them to fix this. And you know what they tell me? They tell me that this is not that big of a problem. Excuse me? Are you trying to tell me that having rodents in the place where you prepare your food is not a problem? Have you, heard of this little thing? It's so underground. You probably haven't heard of it, but have you heard of this thing called the Black Death? Or is that the common cold to you? I was so pissed, and I really don't want to deal with this on my own, because if I were to put poison somewhere and I was to find a dead mouse in my kitchen, I would pack all my things with the suitcase that is a pigeon's nest. I evicted pigeons. Anyway, so yeah, I would pack all my things and fly back home immediately. I would move to Bulgaria within a heartbeat. No hesitation. So My landlords are not helping, is what I'm trying to say. But I shouldn't be surprised because last year it took them a month and a half to get someone to fix our boiler. So we had to shower with cold water for a month and a half. Maybe it is nice to also mention that I've been asking them to fix my radiator, the one in my room, for 2 years now because it only works for an hour or two a day. They're just not in a hurry. God, I cannot wait to one day have my own place and not have to worry about the Black Death and frostbite being my housemates. So I just disinfected everything I own and I put it in boxes, and now I'm just living on a prayer. That reminds me of another thing that happened to me this week, and it's actually not on my list, but fuck it, I'll just tell you. I went to this friend's place, and as I enter, there's no hello, there's no how are you. She just tells me her apartment has been infested with some bugs, some beetles, some I don't know. And while the adults of that insect doesn't bother to attack humans, the baby bugs very much live for us. Why would you invite me over if that's the case? Yeah, she told me she's been disinfecting it for a few weeks. But if you already solved the problem, don't start with it as a hello. I had barely taken off my shoes and I started internally panicking. Anyways, doesn't matter. That's another traumatizing thing that just happened in between. But now let's go back to my list. Yesterday was just the peak of everything. I swear I thought about jumping off of a bridge. At least there are a lot of bridges in the Netherlands. First of all, at 5:40 a.m., exactly 5:40 a.m., someone's car's alarm went off for, I kid you not, 10 minutes. I timed it. Honest to God, I wanted to go down and break that person's car's window so that at least I know why the alarm is going off. And naturally, that sound enraged every single bird, in particular, every single duck. Guys, my room overlooks a lake. Ducks are like flies here. They're everywhere. So they just start quacking or whatever duck sound ducks made. So they just start making those sounds so loudly. I felt like they were next to me in my bed. So then I gave up on falling back to sleep and I just went to the kitchen, the already disinfected kitchen, to make myself a smoothie. And I opened the fridge just to see that I hadn't closed my milk properly. And it was everywhere. And I mean, everywhere. Then to make things better, I couldn't get tickets to the Billie Eilish store. You already know how much I love Billie. And Ticketmaster is my arch nemesis. I swear, whoever is operating that website has a personal vendetta against me. First of all, the site crashed when it was my turn to choose my tickets. And when it finally let me in, it said that my browser behavior is suspicious and I cannot purchase tickets or complete any payments. So by the time this got fixed, things had already went down the drain. If you've never had to buy tickets for concerts, especially to mainstream artists, it's a war. It's a war, it's a battlefield, and like, first come, first serve doesn't even cover it. So, to whoever is responsible for this happening to me, fuck you. Anyways, so I end up being finally referred to the ticket portal. And Billy, I love you. I would go to war for you. And I already said I don't look good in camouflage. However, Billy, you should be more mindful of when you announce your tour dates. It is very cruel of you to do it in a moment when I literally have €5 to my name. Again, I love you so much. I would do anything for you, but I'm not going to pay €140 for a seat. So, everybody, let's just manifest with me that I find some cheap resale tickets, which is really, really a big ask. And let's just pray that I get to see her, because if I don't see Billie Eilish and Phineas live, what is the point of continuing my life? Now, if you think this is where stuff ends, think again. I have a few more things to tell you, and then I'm off because I'm already running late. So, a very interesting thing happened this week. Both my thesis supervisor and one of my friends called me out for not believing in myself and not giving myself enough credit, undermining my own hard work, blah, 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 blah. And they did it within an hour of each other, without communicating with each other, of course. So, is it me? Am I the problem? I love your support, and I appreciate your support. But did you really need to call me out like this? Why? Why are you trying to therapize me in moments when I just need to be coddled? That is not fun. But I want to give credit where credit is due. I really hope I'm not jinxing it. Let me just knock on wood. I really hope I'm not jinxing this by saying it, but my thesis supervisor is probably the best teacher I have ever had in my entire 15 years of education. Like, she is reminding me why teachers are so important, especially teachers who love their job, teachers who have a passion about helping others learn. She is so understanding and so passionate about helping me, and her feedback is so helpful. And honestly, it is the first feedback I've received from a teacher in my life that I can understand and implement. And I think that speaks volumes. After every single meeting I have with her, I just want to hug her. I'm so thankful for her, and I will definitely buy her flowers after everything is over as a thank you. You know, I might even make her something. Not a kuzunak, that's for sure. But yeah, she's the sweetest, and I feel so lucky that I was paired up with her because she motivates me and pushes me to keep going, which is honestly everything I need right now. So, shout out, supervisor. I told her about the podcast, so it would be hilarious if she actually listens to this. The final complaint I have, and then I promise to stop blabbering, is that also yesterday, I know, a very eventful day, I had a job interview for my old job, the one at the restaurant. At my current job, like the sandwich place I told you about last week, things are honestly not going as bad anymore as I painted them last week, but they're still not providing me with enough hours to be able to support myself financially. So I decided that I should contact my old job's boss and just work at 2 places at once. So the interview went well, and they did offer me my old job back. And at first, I felt a lot of satisfaction, a lot of relief. But then, when I came home and actually had the chance to think about it, I started spiraling. I was so anxious about the prospect of going back there. I like the people there. Well, some of them. Well, 4 or 5 of them. And one of them doesn't even work there anymore. But the job itself was really physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually demanding. I started questioning if I really want that job. At the end of the interview, I asked them to give me 2 days to think about it and get back to them. And things are not really going well when you have to Google. How do you know if you really want something? So, after reading some articles, I guess I'm taking me Googling this as a signal that deep down inside, I do not want to go back to that company. Did I enjoy my time there? Some of it. Did I make valuable contacts? Definitely. Was I the one who reached out to them to rehire me? Yes, some. Did I waste everyone's time when requesting my job back and then choosing to decline it? Well, technically, yes. And I do feel bad about this, but I don't think I should do something I so highly doubt, even if it means a more stable income. I honestly would rather be on a tougher budget, but be at peace, especially when I'm writing the most important assignment of my degree, than be able to treat myself, but also pay with my well-being. I don't know. It just didn't seem like a fair trade-off. So, what can you learn from this? Well, not to make everything into a lesson, but maybe not everything should be done at all cost. Oh my god, guys, the pigeons are back there like on my window staring at me. That is so creepy. If this is the last time you hear from me, I don't know what to say. I don't know what my legacy should be. Anyways, yeah. Back to the existential lesson thingy. Yeah. Maybe not everything should be done at all cost. Yes, sometimes we have to do things we don't necessarily want or love in order to survive. But when given the choice, we should always prioritize ourselves. And just listen to your intuition, guys. That's a thing I've learned in the past few years. Every time I go against my gut, I regret it. Regret it. And to end things on a more positive note, I want to say that prioritizing my health is something which I've been forcing myself to do lately. Please forget that I mentioned that I was about to make pasta at midnight. That is like details. But I even started taking vitamins. The deal is real when I start taking vitamins. Well, I do forget to take them every day, but it is the thought that counts. And I also started to go for runs in the morning. And let me tell you that my opinion on running from the first episode has completely changed. I don't necessarily hate it anymore. I don't think I need to drink now to go running. I actually think I like running. But only when it's not terrible outside, of course. I feel like that's why I didn't like it at first. Because it was raining, it was hailing, it was super windy. It was like Netherlandsing every time I'd go for runs. But now the weather is a bit better. And running can be quite pleasant. So, all that just to say that I'm running a marathon. No, I'm not, but like, if I go through another week like the one I just had, I might do it. Might decide to have my midlife crisis a bit earlier than planned. Talking about plans, guys, I'm really running late. I won't even have time for a nap now with all this venting, but I did feel lighter, and I do feel lighter. So, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Stay hydrated, wear sunscreen, and use deodorant. Bye!